how important it is to be part of this bigger team. You know, you guys are all leaders of your own team. We have uplines, we have downlines, we have sidelines. You know, this all started way up more, further up, but, our beloved Fallon is who I guess we work with the most. And, it started with her just being intentional. With, if you know her story, if you don't, you need to know Fallon's story, but she was not, she didn't have a huge team to start. She went to convention by herself, I don't know how many years ago, but did not have one team member go. She was barely holding gold, if that. And she decided, I'm gonna be diamond, I'm gonna sit in that front row. And it was because she was intentional about building relationships online, around her, in her community that she could, she sold a stroller, or I can never remember who did it.
To Tiffany.
Yeah, to Tiffany, and
Tiffany sold to her.
Tiffany, yeah, I can never remember which way it goes. But, and talking, and it's a friendship, so I love what you said too, be relational with your people. It is very easy to just get into our relationships about plexus, but you need to be relational and build those friendships too. But being part of this team and just seeing that we have so much value to add here as a team, and this culture has already begun with where we started. 5 years ago, our team page didn't exist, so everything we did was in Pink Power. And that's where we were, and that's where all of our content was, that's where our team calls were, that's where our book clubs were, and you have to get involved in that. There's so many, we have so many people that can add value to that, and so being a part of the bigger culture, it is great to be focusing on your team, because you are the leader of your team, but we have some other amazing leaders that we should be, looking to for advice. Being here this weekend is incredible. Reaching out to people, talking to somebody new, learning something new, collaborating with each other is huge.
This is something special here. Fallon did this very intentionally in terms of keeping us all together. We have so many diamonds and jewels in this room. That is incredible to stay linked together, you guys. That's huge. Everyone has their own strengths, their own values, value to add. That is a blessing. So being able to pull off each other's strengths from different legs and from different places. Fallon pointed this out to me before, but she'll have different legs and momentum at different times. You will as well, from you and down. So staying together, that builds a culture of growth, a culture of momentum, a culture of business builders. So many facets to our culture that we pull from each other because we do things like this together. So this is a huge blessing. You want to talk about John Maxwell?
Yes, yeah, there was some really, we love JM. He's like, okay, do we need to talk about culture? Yeah, go to YouTube, John Maxwell and culture, and there's a ton of videos that popped up. But just one thing is he talked about that with collaboration, and he said there's 3 really important things that you get from that. You learn from each other. Like what we just did. Even on your own team, you are talking to each other, and you do that all the time, but we learn from each other. I did not know what I was doing. I don't know what I would have done without Pink Power, and without our team, and my upline, and my sidelines. They're my friends, and I honestly, I'm always blown away at the culture that we've, and the family. I use family a lot, but what it is, I would never have known these beautiful people had it not been for this team that we have. So we get to learn from each other, and the growth that I've gained from my sidelines has been amazing. So we're going to learn from each other. You're going to create creativity together too. I am not creative. I rely on my team for that. Jamie's our, creative one on our team. I feel like so we should go to Jamie for all the things. But we have a lot of other creative people on our team that do things differently, and I love talking to my teammate, my downlines, my sidelines, because they have so many great ideas. Getting on the phone regularly. I obviously talk to my sponsor, to Sal, a lot, and chats, phone calls, whatever, but sometimes I get on the phone with Jamie, and she's, I'm her level 3, but we'll get on the phone together, and it's why do we not talk more often? You bring things out that that obviously I get with other leaders too, but same thing when I get on the phone with my team. I love talking to my team every week because they have so many good ideas and we bounce things off of each other. So it brings out creativity in you, and it can just foster that relationship together. And then again, value. You know, you're just going to keep adding value to each other. You cannot, you know, if you all have value to add. Don't think that you don't. You have gifts. You have strengths. Build on those. Use those. You don't have to know everything or have it all. You don't have to have it all, but you do have special gifts. Tap into that. Figure out what those are, and then use your friends, use your sidelines, use your other leaders on your team, your upline. Use them and their strengths to do this together. There's no way we can do this all by ourselves. There is no way, and you don't have to. Okay, so use the value that other people are adding to your team and to your time.
Sometimes when we look around, there can be comparison, maybe bitterness, or maybe jealousy. Different things can come out, especially in teams full of mostly women, right? We have a lot of emotions that come with that. So I challenge you when you do that to check yourself, because that will steal your joy in a heartbeat, and if that is what you are focusing on, that 100% will hold you back. So instead of looking at someone because they ranked up and you're sitting here feeling like you worked just as hard, but they're ranking up and you didn't yet, look at how you can learn from someone instead. Look at how that can inspire you. What are they doing? Build on your strengths. What can you do to, increase in terms of your skill set, your mindset? Use it to motivate you. Know that you have your own strengths and value to add, and someone else's strengths does not take away from yours. Someone else's strengths in this room, because they are a good speaker, or because they do this so well or that so well, that does not take away from your strengths. Be confident in that. Someone's doing well, tell yourself, that person did it, I'm going to do it too. Watch me. Have that attitude. You can choose. That's a choice, 100%. Every single time it's a choice what you want to expand on. You can do the woe is me, like Christine and Brittany said before, or you can change that around and you can use that to motivate you and drive you and be happy for everyone else. Instead, if you change that and instead of being jealous or like whatever thoughts that may come there, be happy, rejoice with them, encourage them, even if maybe you don't feel like it. Some people it might come naturally to others, some people struggle with that, some people don't. Do it anyway, it's going to change your mindset. So focus on the good and using that to inspire you. Your responsibility, taking ownership of this. Each of you should have a strong sense of responsibility to add to the culture of your team. Again, being intentional, right? Not just this is happening, our culture is good, this or that. Every single person should have a strong sense of responsibility to add to your culture, to add value. And that's you and down your team, right? But that's also the big team that you're a part of. Your sidelines, everything else, showing up, adding value. You show up, you add value by being seen, right? So are you posting? Are you doing videos? Are you speaking up on book club? Are you typing in a call and in the book club comments? Are you nodding and engaging? You guys, when I did my first team call, I remember this still, hands down. It was terrible. I was like monotone, not smiling, talking quiet. Like anyone could do this. But I remember you have it on, speaker view, so you can only see a few faces, right? Cody Helmer was right there in the face right there. And I was so stinking nervous, it was ridiculous. But I saw her face, and the whole time she's looking at me, in her screen, she's smiling, and she's nodding her head. So that, I can't tell you the impact that made for me while I'm doing a team call, and I see someone smiling at me, nodding their heads. It validated what I was saying. I felt like, okay, I can do this. I must be saying something right. Like, it made the world of a difference. So how can you add value on a team call? Something as simple as looking at and smiling and nodding, and the confidence that can build for somebody else that you may not even realize. Cody didn't realize that that's what she was doing for me, but she did, and it was huge.
Oh my word, that's so true. Just being visible, is so important. You need to be in front. You need to be in front. And it doesn't have to be in front, but you know what? It kind of does, actually. So I don't know if you've never recorded anything, and put it in your team page. I want to encourage you to do that. You need to do that. I remember another story. I had something going on, and I had this aha moment, and I did not go live. I don't think I went live. But I did a recording, and I put it in the team page, and was terrified, but I did it anyway. And then, I went live once, and just because it's easier, I think I usually delete my videos because I mess up, when you're trying to plan something to say, I actually do better off the cuff. But I remember just going live and being nervous about, saying the right thing or whatever. And, you think you get in your head, and you're like, I can't do this. I know one day I was watching, it's Kristen Abard actually, and she was a diamond, and she was really big, and she was way up there on our team, on the bigger team, and she was doing a live, and halfway through her live, she stopped. She kind of went off on a rabbit trail, which I'm very much known for that. Went off on a rabbit trail, and all of a sudden she was like, wait a second. She was live. She literally stopped in the middle of her talk. You could see her collecting her thoughts, and she's like, okay, and then she went back again. And I was like, wait a second. She just did that live. I can do this. I can do it. I don't need to be perfect. I don't have to say everything right. I can stumble over my words. It's okay. But you need to be visible. You need to do it and not be scared and not be worried about what other people are going to think, because you showing up and being visible is going to make your team want to do the same thing. Again, if she's doing it, I can do it. And so really you need to record the video. If you learned something, if you read something, put it in the team page. Go live put in your stories, go live on your personal page. You need to make sure that you're being seen by your team and they're seeing you do those hard things. It's just, you need to be visible.
And that goes into so many other topics. The reason why we mention it during culture is because that adds to a culture of leadership growth, leadership development. So if that is what you want in your culture, people need to see you do it so that they can duplicate that and do it too. So that's why that fits right here with culture. John Maxwell talks about not isolating your team because it shows the insecurity of the leader. So again, going back to connecting everybody and keeping that culture of staying together and being connected. We make up the culture. The things that we plug into are because of our culture. So if you don't show up for your culture, who will, right? We are the leaders. We need to take responsibility for that. And do it if it makes you uncomfortable. Like Chris was just saying, if it's something is out of your wheelhouse, that's okay. Really quick example, I don't know if you guys know this, but some of you might have been on the bus when we did a Super Saturday bus to Super Saturday, right? We took a big old bus. And I was probably an Emerald at the time. And being on that bus, I was like, okay, normally, when I know people, I love to talk to you, but especially before Plexus, it made me, it was insanely uncomfortable to go talk up to somebody that I did not know. Out of my realm, big time, was not okay. But on that bus, I was an Emerald, I'm like, I need to get up and go row by row and say hi to everybody and just talk to everyone. And I did not want to, and I felt uncomfortable. I was worried what people would, not having something to say. Something as simple as that, and that might sound dumb to a lot of you, if that's you're a people person and that's easy for you, but for some people that's not easy, but you can still do it, and you can be intentional and make a decision, and that adds to the culture of your team. If you do not have a working team yet, you show up anyway. If you are sitting here well, I don't really have people doing videos yet, or I don't really have leaders that are doing those things yet, that does not matter. You show up for the leader that you are, for the leader you want to be, for the diamond you are going to be, and you show up now. And you don't get to pick and choose when you want to become a leader. You don't get to turn it on one day and turn it off another, right? You don't get to pick and choose, well, when someone's finally coming with me, then I'll start doing these things. So show up now, because that is impacting your culture for what you want that to be, and where you want that to go.
Yeah, I think about that, again, where we all started, I didn't have anyone leading on my team. I was it. If I didn't do it, nobody was going to. So if I didn't keep sharing, if I didn't help my people, join people, if I didn't get on team calls and book clubs, and I was the excuses girl when I first started. I said no. I said no. I didn't say no to sharing. I shared from the start. So I guess I was a product taker and a business builder, because I needed the products and I needed the money to pay for the products. And then I just kept going. But I didn't have anybody. And so I had to do it. And I said no to the book clubs. I thought I was too busy. I didn't get on the team calls. I did the bedtimes every night. My son was 5 when I first started, and he's a mama's boy. And he complained every night that I did not put him to bed. And so, I mean, whiny or whatever. And it's so easy to say, I'm not telling you to ignore your kids. I'm not telling you that. I love my kids. But Monday and Thursday nights, it's daddy night. He puts the kids to bed, and Keaton knows that. And yeah, he complained. But you know what? He's 10 now, and he doesn't complain anymore. And he's like, are you going to put me to bed tonight? No, because he still wants me to put him to bed tonight, at night. He's 10, and I love it. I love it, and I will hang on to that forever. But, no, tonight Mom's got to work. Tonight I have to lead call. Tonight I need to be on call. Because sometimes even my kids will say, do you need to lead tonight? Or or are you just watching? Or, and some of you that are on our BU team calls, you'll see my 14-year-old daughter come and give me a hug. Before, she's been doing that, and she doesn't even care anymore. It used to be that she cared. But I got on those team calls, and because I did it, I knew that I needed to do it 5 years ago, and I started to do it then, I do it now. And those habits came, and then other people joined in, my team joined in. So it doesn't matter if you're the only one. Again, Fallon was the only one at convention alone. She still ate hot dogs in her bedroom, right? Right? She didn't have any money. She ate hot dogs in her bedroom. And if you know Fallon, hot dogs are not Fallon's thing. Right? But that's what she did so that she could go and learn from leaders. She did it. And she had one person, but she knew she had to grow. And that's what all of us have done, is we started at ground zero, and we have to do the things ourselves, whether there's a team member that's joining us or not, because you are going to have those people join you, and then you can testify as to why you need to be on those calls and why book club is important. So you need to show up.
We attract who we are, not who we want. So who are you? What are you surrounding yourself with? Top 5 people you surround yourself with. We know that, right? That is going to be who you are.
Law of magnetism. John Maxwell.
What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you listening to? What are you letting in? Who are you letting in? Toxic people. What's going on your team?